And we are live. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing here tonight? I need to very quickly knock out my Duolingo. That's the one thing I forgot to do today. But I hope y'all had a good Thursday. I'm definitely ready for this week to be over. It's been a long one. But tonight we're going to continue on with our power washing adventures. Let me go ahead and pull up that trophy list for us. Power Wash Sim 2. Well, I'm pulling it up for myself at least. Alright, let's head off to the game. It is nice that we only have to do this version once, unlike last time around. Yeah, I hope y'all had a good Thursday. I said before, I will be ready for this week to be over. It has been a very long week. A lot of stuff to do at work. Alrighty, so currently, in the last episode, we nearly completed a couple of jobs, so they're both down to like 1% left on them. So we can go ahead and knock both of these out real quick. Alright, yep, all that's left now is one thing at the top of this, so let's get on up there. But yeah, I went ahead and did some of this cleaning off screen just because I figured people probably wouldn't want to watch every single second of it. And this way it'll make the whole series go a little bit faster. And okay, is it just on like another... over here? Nope. Probably like right on this little yellow part if I had to guess. I also don't even know which power washer I'm using, but it's not like it really matters because this is all that's left of this job. And done! Let's go! Always satisfying to see as everything ends up being cleaned, even though I jump around between tasks constantly. Alright, let's go back to our home base real quick. So that one's done, and then we have another one that was also nearly done. Is it this one? Yes, it's the roller disco, that's it. Now we can quickly just go ahead and finish this one off. And all that's left is one of the lights in here. So yeah, I spent like a solid probably half an hour cleaning some of this other stuff between streams, just because, like I said, it'll cut down on time and we can actually see more jobs and get more trophies. Because that's what this is all about, is the trophies. And is it maybe right here? Got it! You have reached the Power Wash point cap! We are the ultimate of power washes, even though we have a long way to go in this game. Because we've only finished like half the jobs at this point. Maybe a little more than half. And I'm sure they're only going to get longer from this point on. Alright, go back to home base again, because now we need to not only pick our next job, but I need to spend some of those power wash points. Because they're going to go to waste if we don't. Do we have any washer cosmetics yet? Still not. Huh. Wonder when we actually end up unlocking those. Must be a lot later in the game then. Washer equipment. We're getting very... oh wait, yeah, we have this one, so... might as well get the rest of it the attachments for, and this should be a trophy. Yep. Alright, so we've got a maxed out heavy duty washer. We just don't have the professional duty one yet. But we'll get those later, and apparently, like I said, we get a lot of money toward the end of the game, so shouldn't be a problem. Now for cosmetics, this is where we can spend our points at. And really don't have a lot of points, unfortunately, so... Or not a whole lot of things to purchase with our points, so whatever. Okay, so our next job is a tractor. That seems easy enough. Another ridiculous misadventure to the list. We were all excited about opening the farm shop after the incredible job you'd done to the outside, but while we were cleaning up the inside, I suddenly remembered the colossal bee's nest up in the rafters. So I put on my astronaut onesie and took upon myself to relocate it. And it resulted in your tractor somehow being defiled. Okay, I'm not really sure I get where that story was supposed to be going. But let's see if there's anything for the tractor. I don't think this one has anything. Town floats, solar system, shopping mall, temple interior, mini roller coaster, funhouse, motel, and theaters. Okay, nope. Nothing for this one, so this one should be a fairly quick one. Alright, we're already getting them dings in, which I'm definitely happy with. Out of all the harebrained schemes I've had, carrying a live bee's nest by tractor is up there with the best of them. I still don't really understand how it got that dirty from carrying a bee's nest, but... You know what? I probably shouldn't question the logic of this game. It involves, like, time travel and possibly aliens and super weapons, and volcanic eruptions and extinction events, and literally some of everything, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I get that windshield good and clean. I gotta start working on House of the Dead some more. I haven't played it in a couple of days. So far, it seems like an easy enough platinum. Because, I mean, there's a lot of, like, cheats that you unlock and stuff, too, so... Be simple, carefully hitch the nest to the back of the tractor, and away we go. And if you're in the tractor, why not just, like, destroy the nest or something? Seems like you could just do that. The willow tree on the edge of the farm, nice job, but not. Well, let's get the other side cleaned. Nice and relaxing. I actually found out that we do own a power washer back home. My parents do. Which I thought we did, I just wasn't sure. And it apparently still works, so... I don't know, maybe that needs to be my actual next side hustle, or only side hustle for that matter, aside from YouTube. And that glass does not want to clean, so... 40%. As soon as I turned on the engine, the hive started shaking and the whole swarm emerged. Well, I'm not really sure what you were expecting to have happen, in all honesty. At one point there were so many bees on you thought they were going to fly inside. You should be safe in there, right? And I would think you'd be fairly safe in there. Not a single sting, though, and we're already well on the way to our first batch of organic honey. Well, that's good. Honey is like a superfood in certain ways, so that's a good thing. And I guess we're just gonna, yeah, let's just soak this area up. I think we're gonna need to use a lot of soap here. There's a lot of very sticky surface areas. Especially this glass, it just does not want to clean off. Turn the tractor a completely different color. Soap is pretty overpowered in this game, for sure. And that's what Illusion was saying in his video. She seems to have, like, dropped off the internet recently, so... I don't know, maybe people were just getting pissed off at the whole, like, trophy, how to platinum this game explained by a genius or whatever he was doing. I don't know. Or he's finally working on Fortnite, which would actually be really good. I'm sure he's got a long way to go on that. I'm sure glad I'm not playing it. By the way, Silent Monk's up at the temple. Didn't I clean that in the previous game? I'm pretty sure I cleaned that exact structure in the previous game. Being very excited seeing you at the farm, almost squeaking with delight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I cleaned that in the first game. That looks very familiar. There's going to be a bunch of these tiny little components and stuff in here that we have to get, isn't there? I still can't believe we got through the best ending for Helen last night on Clock Tower. I'm surprised I got the best ending for both characters on my first time through. And I had to refer to a guide at a few points just to figure out where I was supposed to go. Somehow I still got the best ending, which is definitely a surprise. And this tire's still got plenty of stuff on it. This whole side has a bunch of stuff on it, so let's just wash this off so we can actually use more soap. All them dings. Up to almost 75% already, so definitely good. Yeah, what y'all been up to? Anyone have any fun plans for the weekend? Or for Friday? Any of that kind of stuff? I'll just be sitting here watching Clemson probably lose another football game, so probably not going to be the most fun Saturday. Then again, I'll probably be streaming, so... Or, actually, I don't know yet. We'll see. I may stream or I may be watching the game. I honestly don't know yet. I know that Dabo would not call me a true fan if I refused to watch us lose against Florida State this week. Makes me a fake bandwagon fan, and the cult has to come after me. I'm like Tyler from Spartanburg. Clemson people know what that is. No one else in the world probably does, so I'll get off my soapbox on that. I'm still thinking about actually like doing a legit trying to do a rebuild in college football, because I've been watching, I think his name is Bordeaux is the channel, that mainly does like college football content and maybe some Madden content as well. And he does a bunch of rebuilds of teams that are struggling. He actually did one for Clemson and they couldn't end up winning anything, which sounds about right at this point. But I would do one probably on the easier difficulty and actually jump into a lot of the games and see if I can create a 10-year dynasty out of that. That might be fun, because that'd probably be more fun than watching us actually play at this point. Other than that, though, no other major plans for the weekend, I don't believe. It has been a busy week. Thankfully, next week should not be as bad. There's a lot left in the engine. And yeah, there's still a bunch more on the interior here. Bark. Ooh, yep, we're gonna need soap in here for sure. All that stuff is nasty. And up there as well, so get it. Then, like, alongside Powerwash, I gotta figure out what I want to do for my next, like, retro game, because at this point, I don't know. Like, obviously not done with Clock Tower yet, but I'm probably not going to stream it anymore, because it just doesn't really pull in any viewership now that it's past Spooky Month, so probably going to need to find something different to play on there. I got a number of different ideas. Maybe we'll even, like, put it to a boat or something. I don't know yet. Like, one of them is the SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman would be a good option, potentially, but then I know that there's other ones as well that might even be better. And just figuring out what exactly will work on the emulators and all. Because I have not been able to get RetroArch to work at all. Even though that's, like, probably one of the best ones to use for a lot of stuff, for a lot of the, like, handhelds and everything. I cannot get that thing to work no matter what I do, so probably just need separate ones for, like, each console, which is a big pain in the butt. I mean, Dolphin will work for both GameCube and Wii. Otherwise, though, just PCSX2 for PS2, and then Duck Station for PS1. I need other stuff for, like, SNES, for handhelds, all that stuff. I think it'd be fun to do, like, Nintendogs. Because I love that game growing up, and it's the Lab with Labs and Friends, or whatever it's called. So the Labrador one is the only one I think that has achievements. Then again, I have no idea how that would work control-wise with the touchpad and everything. Yeah, maybe that's not my best idea. I'd have to do some actual research into that first. Or me and, like, Lizard Guy hang out or something. I don't know if he's going to be around for Thanksgiving, but maybe he'll be home for Christmas, so hang out then, record stuff potentially, maybe stream something depending on how the internet is, wherever we're hanging out at. Dang, no one commenting at all tonight. Surprising. Starting to wonder if YouTube, like the AI that now drives YouTube, is like decided to just hit the channel for some reason, because I've heard that it's been doing some really bad stuff recently. Like, it's like straight up nuked several people's channels and like completely deleted them, which is insane. For like no reason, just randomly does it. Yeah, it's something with AI, from what I've heard. I guess the AI is supposed to be able to detect certain things, and it's just doing a very bad job of it. And still a lot more in the engine block, of course. Ooh, we're finally getting, yep, we're getting notifications now. Good. The little orange thingy pops up. And let's suds it up. And how am I still missing something in here? I feel like I've cleaned this quite... Oh, up top. Okay, never mind. The tops and everything still have something that's clean. There we go. And up here, 95. Oh, I haven't even cleaned, like, the top at all yet. Not much of it. Okay, that's good. This thing, I think, is clean. It is. There's probably still something on that interior, so we'll get that second. Let's get the top first. Alright, well, can I not? Okay, I can jump up there. Didn't seem to want to at first. Should just be able to get this one with the... Oh, nope, it's not going to be enough. Okay. We're going to have to use the green. I was hoping the white nozzle might work well enough, but apparently not today. And we got to go with the green one. And that's still not the entire roof. Okay, there we go. And over there, just right there. This light. I don't know how I didn't fully clean that before. Or that one. Okay, got both of those. A little bit more soap right there. Only 3 objects left. Let's go. Rear light, rear mudguard, and an inner thing. Hey, Cassie. Fell asleep last night during stream and woke up right as I finished Helen's scenario. Oh, nice. At least you got to see the ending of it. I'm still very surprised that we actually got the best ending. I was not expecting that. Unfortunately, like, a lot of those old guides just are not really the best. They're not really always correct, even, on certain things. where they mix the scenarios up to a degree. There's conflicting information on things, so thankful I was able to get that playthrough done, but now I gotta figure out how to do all the other endings. But again, I won't be streaming that just because it doesn't really pull in much in the way of viewership, so... That'll be finished on my own time and then turned into a video, of course. What is it? Oh, okay. Well, that job was pretty easy. Had a bad headache. Ah, that sucks. Aqua Regis, it's time for you to come and clean our temple. Oh, great. I think we're about to get inducted into a cult or something. Even though I swear I'm almost 100% sure that we did this job in the last game. Because that temple looks rather familiar. I'm almost 100% sure I've cleaned this before. I mean, it would make sense, though. Sun shining, tractors gleaming, and the bees are a-buzzing. Alright, let's continue. Temple... Oh, that's why. Okay. Beyond honor to have finally met you within the hallowed walls of the temple. Okay. So we're probably... It probably is the same temple, but we're just cleaning the inside. And I think there is a trophy for this level. Let me check. Can't believe it. Finally, the master of the flow is here. Gotta level with you. This job might be quite heavy going. The temple hasn't been washed for centuries. Oh, I can do it, I'm sure. In the temple interior job, descend the stairs. Okay, that seems like really, really easy, so... Holy crap. Yeah, they were not lying on that. I don't see a staircase yet, so... I don't know, maybe it's a two-parter job like a couple of those were earlier on in the game. Yeah, we're gonna be needing some soap in here for sure. He was not lying about that. You would think that they might have tried to clean it at some point, but apparently not. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of soap in here. Which, I mean, the game wants you to use it, so it's all good, but... Oh, is that? That must be where we go downstairs at. Alright, that looks significantly better, and we're already 1% of the way there. At least this one's an easy miscellaneous trophy, so that's good. Now, one thing we could play at some point is do, like, the other version of House of the Dead, and I try to, like, maybe not necessarily speedrun it, but get it done relatively quickly once I've done it once. I will be curious, though, for House of the Dead 2, because I want to say that might be the one that I remember playing in the arcades when I was younger. I don't recognize the first one, but it might not have been that. It might have been a completely different game, in all honesty. There's one that I very fondly remember, because it used to be in our local pizza place for a long, long time. It's an arcade machine. Then it got eventually replaced with, like, a Galaga Pac-Man machine, and I don't even know. I haven't been inside there in a couple of years. We usually just get takeout. Or my parents will just get takeout. But it was like an Area 51 game, but it was one where you had to, you know, shoot targets and stuff. It was super, super fun. I used to play that one, like, any time that we would go there. Just be waiting, you know, 10, 15 minutes for everything to get out, so I'd spend a couple of dollars playing that game whenever we were there. Never quite managed to beat it, but got close, I'm pretty sure. I also remember another one that was really fun. It was a Rambo game. Like, it was straight up an on-rails Rambo game, just like the one that they released on PS3, because, yes, that's a thing that exists. And it's apparently very, very bad, and also has an unobtainable 100% because of a DLC trophy that was glitched. I'm not even sure if the game's still even purchasable anymore, unless you were to buy a physical edition somehow. Resident Evil Revelations is going okay so far, trying to get used to the dodging mechanic. You'll have to let me know how it ends up going, because if it's not anything insanely hard, I might consider doing it at some point. Especially if it's shorter, because I'm pretty sure it's a fairly short platinum, even by, like, Resident Evil standards. I want to say the guide for that might have said like 15-ish hours or something, which really isn't that bad, but I could be thinking of a completely different game. Oh, that's the ladder. Okay, I was wondering what that was. Alright, let's soap up the walls all that we can. And I can't imagine the game could be worse, though, than something like, say, Operation Raccoon City. Yeah, that game, that's one that is always gonna somewhat, like, haunt me. Burping again, or I feel like I'm gonna hiccup or something. Burp, hiccup, I don't know what that was. Oh no, Cassie, I was just asking, like, you'll have to let me know how difficult and how time-consuming it is, in case I decide to, you know, possibly do it at some point. Or if it has any multiplayer stuff to it. I don't think that one does. I think the second one does. I think the second one's either harder, more time-consuming, or maybe both. Yeah, you'll definitely have to let me know how that whole thing's going so I can decide if I want to play it at some point. Oh, you still gotta do Raccoon City? Oh, no. Oh, that game was not a good experience. Like, okay, let me rephrase that. That was me, Ghost, and Killer, and several other guys that we sometimes boost with were working on it together. And to be fair, we had some fun times in the multiplayer, even boosting it, because it was a fairly easy thing to boost, just took time. I would say, like, the worst thing was we had one member of the group that was just not good at games, like, at all, and, like, couldn't even understand, like, basic instructions half the time when we were trying to boost. So that was the main issue with the online. But then, at some point, we played a number of the levels in co-op. I don't know, I think we beat the game, possibly in 4-player co-op on the easiest difficulty, but then, like, it just buffs the hell out of the enemies. There's one multiplayer, but it's easy. Oh, okay. That's good, then. And, like, I think that all, like, 4 of us were crashing out at one point or another when we were playing that game in that game's campaign in co-op. I legitimately think, like, all 3 or 4 of us were just crashing out constantly in it. Because it's just such a bad game. And it just, in co-op, everything just has like 1 billion times the amount of health it does on solo. And then with the actual single-player stuff, like, there are some difficult trophies in that game. That's what I'm getting at with that. There were a few difficult ones. Namely, it was like getting an S rank on every level or something, or beating it on the hardest difficulty. Heck, did we actually play through it on the... I don't honestly remember. I've blocked a lot of that game out of my mind at this point because it was not a fun experience. The DLCs are easy, though, from what I remember. Yeah, one multiplayer trophy that's easy. I can do that. I can deal with that. These guys, like, I feel like they could do, like, a painting simulator at this point and just use the exact same mechanics, but like a paint gun, like a paint spray gun or something for everything, but maybe they actually judge you on the amount of canisters of paint you use. I feel like they could easily just do something like that, or even make it like a DLC for this. Maybe I shouldn't give people ideas. The next thing you know, they'll do it, and then I'll get blamed for it if it's bad, so get blamed for it by all the trophy hunters, at least. Nah, this channel's not big enough to get blamed for something like that, I don't think. Nor do I expect them to actually be in here watching this. Alrighty, so get the right side now, 14%. In terms of other stuff, haven't really worked too much on editing this week, and honestly I was so busy with work that I was just kind of exhausted and didn't really feel a lot like editing much of the week. I mean, the Call of Duty 2 Big Red One video is coming along. It's not going to be as long of a video, most likely, just because the trophies or achievements in that game are simple enough that it doesn't really warrant a significant amount of talking. And got started on the Black Ops 6's Mike Banning video. That'll also probably not be a super long one. Maybe try to release it right around the time that Black Ops 7 releases, when there should be a little bit of Call of Duty hype. Might not be a bad idea. That's kind of why I'm holding off on the Dead Rising 2 off the record video and starting working on it. Just because I wonder if, like, hey, maybe we're going to get a remake or remaster of it at some point, and maybe I should just wait for that and release it around that time and hope maybe that it pulls in good viewership, because that really worked well with Dead Rising 2. Because that's still, like, my most popular of the, like, modern type of trophy video. Astro's Playroom is up there, too, in terms of popularity in that whole category, so... yeah, Astro's Playroom did surprisingly well for such an easy game. No death on normal or harder is easy if you just select no when you die. Yep, that's definitely going to be easier then. It's a little annoying because it sends you back to your last checkpoint. Well, the fact that you can cheese a permadeath run definitely makes it easier. Unless it's just, like, so brutally hard that the checkpoints are so spread out or something. And I have begun my research on the next Fallout lore video. That is one I definitely need to have done by mid-December, when the second season of the show releases. Yeah, when the second season of the show releases, we'll absolutely be doing a couple of those lore videos, hopefully. Big, populous states that hopefully means I will be able to pull in some good viewership from it, because the Ohio video did pretty well. Actually, all the videos except the Vermont one did pretty well, which honestly, I guess I shouldn't be that surprised, because there's like 4 people that live in Vermont in total, so probably wasn't going to be the most interesting. It'd be like if I did Wyoming for a video. Or the Dakotas or something like that. It's like, there's like 10 people that live in each of those states, so probably wouldn't do too well. But I would eventually potentially cover every state that hasn't been seen in the games that much. And you have to re-get the collectible raid mode, is mostly grinding to level 50, getting 150 bonuses in S ranks. Because that's kind of what worries me with, like, Resident Evil 0, is that one has that Leech Hunter mode that kind of looks challenging. It's not a raid mode, necessarily. I don't entirely even know what it involves, but it looks like it could be harder. I'm not sure if Zero's that good of a game. I've owned it for years, I just never started playing it. And more soap. We're going to need all the soap. And at the upper ledge, how is that thing? Oh, there's some stuff up there, never mind. And then, you know, I'm honestly surprised we still don't have a trophy list yet for Black Ops 7. Because doesn't it come out in like a week? Usually, Call of Duty achievements and trophies get leaked a fair bit before they come out. At least I feel like they tend to. And occasionally they're not completely correct. Like, there was originally speculation we're going to get a kill 66,666 zombies in Black Ops 6, and that didn't end up happening. But the entire rest of the list, I think, was true, so, or close to true. So I'm actually very surprised we haven't gotten that yet, because the game's only a week away. I guess they're too busy making replacers videos on YouTube. It worked fine with Black Ops 2 because that was a great game, and that's when Call of Duty was at the height of its popularity. Or still in the good era of Call of Duty. Now it's just, like, kind of dumb. Because they know they're going to lose out. Well, you know, I say they know they're going to lose out to Battlefield, but apparently Battlefield 6 is, like, one of the lowest rated Battlefield games ever. Like on Steam or something, which is really unfortunate. For countless generations, we've all been obeying a strict vow of silence until you turned up today, that is, and fulfilled your prophecy. Am I like a god to them or something? Perpetual silence helped prevent petty arguments and unfortunately left us unable to agree on a workable cleaning rota. I guess you mean rotation by that. So why wouldn't you just write it down? Why don't you just write down your schedule, or you're not allowed to do that either? Second level in raid mode is the easiest, in your opinion, to get no damage bonus trophy after it. Don't remember if you got the S rank or not. Yeah, you'll definitely have to let me know how everything goes with it and how long it all takes, because it's definitely one I could consider doing. As I said, I think Revelations 2 is a lot longer, or like a lot more difficult, or maybe both. You know what I just thought of? I am using the correct one of these, right? Oh. Well, that might be part of the problem. I was using the wrong washer that whole time. I was using the unupgraded version. Well, I guess that proves you could probably beat the game using only the basic Powerwasher if you had to. Like if there was a trophy or achievement for that. Like beat the game without any upgrades. Except just, like, buy the items for the one Powerwasher that you start with. So yeah, even the white nozzle's getting almost everything. So that would explain a lot. I always forget about that. It's weird how you switch between Powerwashers in this game, because the first game only had the 4 washers, and, like, you could only... Once you upgraded, you didn't have access to the old one anymore. I don't think you did. Maybe you did, but it's been a while. Let's see. Only 30 handprints and 18 enemy types. Those are collectibles. That's not too bad, then. 2 has countdown mode, speed run with invisible enemies. Ooh, invisible enemy mode. I remember that from Resident Evil 1. Honestly, it was kind of fun because you could play it on the easiest difficulty. I don't remember it being that bad, because I think you could play it on the easiest difficulty in that one, and Resident Evil 1's so short. And on easy, it was a joke of a game to beat, so... And get that side, and up there. Alright. Let's go down to green nozzle. Maybe that'll work a little bit better. Yeah, green nozzle seems to be getting everything at this point. Yeah, green nozzle's working quite well here. And there's another one. Perfect. I love that satisfying little ding, as we all know. They could just replace the trophy popping sound with that particular ding. I'm honestly kind of surprised PlayStation hasn't done something like that, where they allow you to buy, like, different sound bites to use for trophies unlocking. Like a ringtone almost on a phone. I'm actually a little bit surprised they haven't done something like that, because I feel like it would be an easy way to just make a little bit of extra money without really doing anything. Alright, yeah, this is going much faster now. We're going to have a lot of little areas to clean, though. I don't think it's going to be that bad. You can probably do the hardest difficulty to take breaks and don't rush like a moron. Yeah, especially if there's a way to make it easier. or sort of cheat the permadeath aspect of it. And are the candles still somehow potentially going to be glowing? Yep, apparently. I love how I titled this Greatest Power Washer Ever, and then I somehow used the wrong Power Washer for the first, like, half an hour of this entire video. Even though that tractor had some dirt that was so heavily baked in there, I'm not sure it would have mattered if I didn't use the soap. Okay, get all of that stuff, get the candles, the area behind the candles. Surprised Markiplier hasn't done any videos of this game yet. Thought he would have. Then again, he doesn't post a whole lot of stuff on YouTube anymore. He's busy with, like, making his movie and stuff. Yeah, I thought for sure he would have done something with this game. I think he also got married, actually, which is pretty cool. Trim. Get some more trims. Get the ceiling. And I have a little bit of soap right there as well, so get all of that. Ooh, yeah, these upper areas are not going to be fun to clean, are they? Lectern. Ooh, this whole thing's pretty dirty. And let's see. That looks like it might be no, it's not graffiti, I don't think. Might just need some soap here in a second. Yeah, I might need to post, like, a vote and see what you guys want to see, like, maybe this weekend, what you want to see me play aside from, you know, power washing stuff. Do you want to see another random game from my list or something like that? Because we got to get a few more platinums at this point. I mean, with Black Ops 7, I do wonder if maybe, like, as much as it would pain me to do it, if I think it could pull in good viewership from streaming it day one, I might consider it just simply for the potential viewership, but I'm just not sure it would really pull in enough to justify it. Now, unless there is going to be a trophy or achievement in the game that's going to become nearly impossible after, like, even just a few months from, like, a game mode or something, in that case, that might be kind of a different scenario. I'm really hoping they don't do that, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm still surprised that hasn't released yet. Hopefully very soon, so we'll know exactly what to do. And I gotta do it regardless at some point, unfortunately, because of Call of Duty HQ and all that good stuff. Or terrible stuff. I mean, it's basically terrible stuff. I'm still pretty sure that Fallout 76 is gonna get new trophies when the Burning Springs DLC comes out. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. If it doesn't, that means they're done adding trophies to the game forever. Which some people probably won't be mad about. Players listed probable for the game on Saturday. I'm not even sure I want to know because it's probably going to be unfortunate. Feels weird being able... Yeah, I don't know where everyone is tonight. Or it's just YouTube's just like... Their whole AI thing is just not being fair to me, which is entirely possible. Apparently it's been screwing a lot of people over recently. And like it actually just removed several channels apparently. And I think they were able to get them back at some point, but that's just ridiculous. Is that whole pillar? Most of it. And I also heard a weird theory that maybe, like, you can increase, like, your stats are better, or YouTube's better for you if you don't really schedule your streams that far ahead of time. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not. It might have something to do with, like, the impression click-through rate. But I heard that rumor recently as well, so it makes me wonder if I shouldn't just, like, not schedule streams until, like, a few minutes before or something, like half an hour before. Honestly, who knows at this point? Who knows? I'm at least thankful I don't have to rely on YouTube as a source of income, because I feel like it'd be like the most inconsistent, potentially dangerous option you could choose in terms of that kind of stuff. Just with how volatile things are. Or maybe even start, like, doing multi-streaming to Twitch or something. I'm assuming my computer can probably handle it. I mean, I'm almost 100% sure it can, because when I was with Lizard Guy, I had my old-ass laptop, and we were still able to do some degree of multi-streaming with that hooked up. I don't remember exactly how we did everything, but if that thing could potentially run part of it... Oh, great. That's not something that I needed to have pop up in the middle of a stream. That's a guy that I collab with for some videos, so we are working on another video. That means I might just have to, like, unlist this stream afterward. Which, I guess is fair. It'll be in a playlist, most likely. Oops. How much do I have left in House of the Dead? A fairly large amount. I think I only have one ending left, but I have a bunch of other trophies to go. But yeah, we're collabing on a video about bad trophy lists this time, so that should be fun. I think YouTube, like, now actually shows if you're doing a collab with other channels. Like, it shows everyone's channel name or something in the, like, below the video when it releases, which is kind of cool. It was funny, he just did, like, a top 20, like, most disturbing episodes of South Park video just for Halloween, and it was pretty entertaining. There's some great episodes in there. Some absolute classics. Oh yeah, I know you guys won't, but I might still at some point. Obeying a vow of silence. Why here you ask? About to discover that for yourself. I'm so excited I could pop. Should I be concerned? Should I be concerned with that statement? Like I said, are you about to induct me into a cult or something? The cult of the power washing pals. That's Markiplier's name of his, like, podcast with this game. And I'm assuming that, okay, so yeah, those stairs must be a later thing that takes us to another part of the level. So it's going to be like that early job with the public bathroom. For other people, yeah, I don't think most people would, but I don't know, we'll see. Or I could just edit that moment out, actually, is probably another possibility. Okay, get the candles, get the rim. And that'll be a fun video, so you guys should be able to see it when it comes out, if it'll actually potentially show my name as well in it, which would be super helpful, make collabing a lot better. A lot more worthwhile to everyone at that point. Okay, that's done. Okay, we got a lot more to go up there. Let's just start soaping it all up. Alright, got that column up to 42%, not too bad. Get that whole artwork piece, get that column. And another column, and now the back of that little guy. And we can actually get some of the ceiling from down here, so that's good. Yeah, better to be safe, yeah. Yeah, like I said in the comments of this, I assume that we're probably, like, halfway through the game at this point. At least I think we are, because from what I can tell, it's like 36-ish jobs or something like that. So we should be halfway through at this point. And then, of course, there'll be DLC someday, but that's not important because we're going for the platinum here. Yeah, House of the Dead, I can actually show that off here in a second. We'll get to 45%, and I guess I'll show that off. I don't know how that whole area turned blue, though. .44 still. Well, not me to 45, so I can show off that other little thing. Or just trophy list. Alright, so I can show that off now. Show you guys where my progress is on it. Yeah, we're 50% of the trophies, so we still have the third ending, which is the weird score one. And that'll get us that trophy as well, so that's 2 trophies for the price of 1. Kill all the scientists in each chapter, discover all the paths, which isn't that bad because there's only 4 chapters, and the 4th chapter only has 2 paths, and I've seen both of them already. All the items, apparently there's a strategy for this one. You need to use a different weapon. Creature entries might be the same thing. Additional weapons, I think you can use a cheat for that. So that should pop both of those. Blow off heads, easy enough. This one, I'm surprised I don't yet have. Let's see. 5 enemies at the same time. I think you can do that with a grenade launcher or something. I don't know what this is. It must be a different weapon. Finish the whole campaign without taking damage is going to be a little bit annoying, but you can, like, quit and continue at the last checkpoint, or it, like, might... I don't know if it's the last checkpoint or the beginning of the chapter, but you can at least do that, so it's not that bad. Knock up an enemy. Yeah, that's a great wording, isn't it? Kill all the rats and the... Okay, I don't know what any of that stuff is, but... Progress is progress, so it's coming along. Oh, nope. Nope. Let's make sure I'm using the correct washer now. Good. Hey, T-Jade. Yeah, House of the Dead's coming along. It's not a particularly long game. I got a few other games sort of like that I need to do at some point that are not super, super long. That Nubla 2 game, gotta do it at some point. Been sitting around forever, and Metamorphosis, gotta do that one at some point, potentially. I don't have to do those games, but I bought them at some point, so I don't want that to go to waste. Get all these little candles cleaned. Alright, all the candles are good. Get the rope, or whatever this is. Finding all the paths was annoying. Didn't know which one you're missing. Paths. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a guide for it, so shouldn't be too bad. Just play through the game a couple more times, because the game can be beaten in like half an hour. It's not a long game. And the Arby's ad, of course. Still working on Goat Sim 3, making some progress. Nice, nice. I got to do that one at some point, too. Technically got to do it twice, because we got it for free for both versions, so... They released another one of those, bundles where it's like $5 for 24 platinums, basically. They're all really easy. That's going to be the ultimate final boss of shovelware, probably for a future dumpster dive. Though I will not be polluting my main account with any of that. I'm not putting any of that brain rot shit on my main account. Which was funny, one of the channels, a couple of them recently have done Trophy Hunter reviews, and one of them got Illusion as one of his people, which was pretty funny. I think he's also done like Nick ARs, he might have done Platinum Paces, maybe 3 Point, I don't know, or Satire, some of them. Hard to keep track of everyone these days. Okay, got that whole area, so get inside of the dragon's mouth, presumably. And the other side of it, we'll get that here in a second. GTA getting delayed again. Yep, I'm not actually that surprised. Honestly, I'd rather him delay it and actually make it good when it releases and not have any major problems to it. I'd much rather that be the case than, you know, releasing it unfinished and being, like, really broken or something after how long we waited for it. And they can afford to take as long as they need to, because they know that game's going to make like $1 trillion. It's probably the most anticipated game of all time, alongside The Elder Scrolls 6. And Half-Life 3, of course. Can't forget Half-Life 3. I saw something recently that was saying, like, there might be a trailer for Half-Life 3 or something that's coming out within the next few months. It was it was randomly speculative. That would be something completely out of nowhere. I did PS4 and PS5 version. Oh, nice. The publishers are relieved right now. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. They have way more time to get everything done. And again, I would rather it be really well made when it releases and not have any major problems to it than getting it out early. Because I'm supposed to be co-opting a guide for the game with some of the other biggest guide writers, so that's exciting. For PSN profiles, of course. I don't know, maybe one of us can get an early copy of the game or something. I don't know if anyone's big enough to be able to get one, but maybe someone has some pull somewhere and we can get early copies of it. Even if we couldn't do anything until an embargo releases. But we will see about all that. But yeah, I saw something for like Half-Life 3 randomly. One of those games I don't know if we will ever get anything for, but people claiming that we are at some point, so... And it's like apparently now, according to, what was it? What's the app called? The one where you can just, like, bet on everything. It's now, like, higher... There's now, like, a higher odd that Jesus Christ returns before GTA 6 releases is, like, now a more popular choice to pick for it, which is pretty crazy. Just make me wonder if, like, they're going to end up, you know, delaying it again at some point. It might not be out till 2027. Given that we've gotten no news really on Elder Scrolls 6 for I don't know how many years now. Aside from the fact that we know it's their main project now that Starfield's out. Been out for a while. But again, I would rather actually, you know, make it correctly than make it quick. Looks like a little spot on the back of this dragon. Got it. And got it. And that's good. Get that arch. Can't be that much more in this outer area. We've still got the whole interior down there to clean. Gonna make up another, probably a little bit under half of it. And up there. And now over there. Get those different statue things. Ooh, rooftop in there. Still needed some. Alright, we're getting lots of dings now. We're getting close to the end of the first half of this job. And now... that right there, perfect. And I might need to use another thing for that. Yeah, that might be a little bit out of reach. Yellow will work. Okay. And there's still some... oh, there's several things not clean on here yet. Okay. Got tons of games that'll occupy you until GTA 6 comes out. Same. Yeah, I've got more than enough backlog, especially with retro achievements. I'm not worried at all about passing the time. At some point we'll do Ghost of Yotei. But like I said with that one, I'm probably just going to wait until Legends comes out so I can do it all at once and know what to expect from Legends, if it all becomes part of the same trophy list. Not a game I'm dying to play, of course, but we'll do it at some point. And the lectern somehow still isn't fully cleaned. Oh, yeah, sure isn't. Ooh, lots of stuff left in here. Alright, yeah, we'll be at like 51% when we open up the rest of this level. At least I'm assuming that's how it's going to work. And a few more spots on top. Perfect. Maybe that dragon is the last thing, hopefully. Its mouth. And on its side. Still more over here. And up in the ceiling. Okay, got that window, but then there's still that whole area right there, so... Send it out all the way. Infamous Second Son, Until Dawn, Wolfenstein the Old Blood, way too many to think of. Well, that's good, you got plenty of options to play, so you can jump around between different genres too with that. I can always just spend some time replaying Fallout games. This window. Oh, wait, there's something. Okay, that's one of them. We just need the altar support, which is that this? Oh, yep, that's what I was missing. Now we just need the ceiling arch. Ooh, yeah, how am I going to get to that? I hope this ladder's tall enough. It's going to be cutting a little close there because there's not a whole lot left for me to clean on that. Clean this side a little bit, but Witcher 3 is one you really want to play next year. Oh yeah, everyone says that game's amazing. It's probably the type of game that I would like, if I had to guess. I don't see anything else that I'm missing in there. Let's see if we can suds it a bit. Or use that nozzle as well. It's going to be up there, but I don't even think that ladder goes that high up, does it? Okay, maybe up to here. Yep, that'll work. Behold, the Crypt of Secrets. I wanted to rename it to the Cryptic, but it got overruled. No one has set foot inside in 700 years. Get the full armory trophy by using the unlock. Okay, perfect. That's what I was thinking. And there it is. There's another trophy. Okay, so they worship a gnome. I don't know how a modern garden gnome got down here if it hasn't been touched in 700 years. Yeah, we're digging deeper into the lore of this franchise, which is always fun. Because I admittedly didn't read all the comments and stuff in the first game. I'm assuming that this is going to be providing us some extra lore. Need 24 trophies for the cheat. Yeah, I've got 22 of them, so I only need 2 more, and I can knock out 2 more probably without a whole lot of problems. Just even by doing a third playthrough to get the other ending should be enough. I'm sure the grenade launcher, I think, is one of the weapons. So grenade launcher with the one-shot kills ability and like infinite ammo without having to reload should be fairly easy to get through everything at that point. Okay, it looks like an old dragon of some kind. And we're up to 60%. Let's go. Hello, old friend. Your time-traveling pal, Cerulean Sky here. Remember when we neutralized the mountains, saved the world together a couple of years back? Good times. Okay, this is a random person. This is a random time to reach out to me. Well, we need your help again. Ooh, what do you need my help with now? Don't tell me we have to clean that giant temple again at the end of the game. Hopefully not. It's like that was the one job that was just really, really brutal in the first game. Because it took absolutely forever to do. It took like multiple days of playing. Multiple hours to get. Those little areas. Goat Sim 3 is getting some DLC in a few weeks. Oh, okay, it's a good thing I haven't started it yet then. Watch him add in a Flappy Goat trophy in DLC. I probably should not manifest that into the universe, but given the whole game is basically a massive trolling, it wouldn't actually surprise me if they did something like that. I probably should have just not said it out loud though, because we don't want to risk it being willed into existence by someone. And I don't want it willed into existence because if I got to play through the game at some point, I certainly don't want to do Flappy Goat again. Although then again, when they re-released the original Goat Sim on here with all the DLC and stuff, they took out the Flappy Goat trophy. Or I don't remember if they had all the DLC, but they took out the Flappy Goat trophy, so maybe they know that people hated it and were really mad about it. Because I remember the first Goat Sim actually had some pretty unique DLC levels to it. It didn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, none of the game did, but they weren't bad levels by any means. From what I remember, at least, unless there was a bad one that I'm just blocking out again. And still some stuff on the floor. You know, if this room's been sealed off for that long, I'm not sure how there could be this much, like, gross stuff in here. I feel like it couldn't have coated every single inch of this, at least not as thickly as it does. So Flappy Goat comes back, we blame me. Yeah, I guess so. It's a post-apocalyptic theme. Okay, that's good then. It actually could be pretty fun. But no, I'm sure that people were talking about the idea of it potentially having a Flappy Goat trophy back when the trophy list first released. I'm sure people were talking about it back then. At least the possibility of it being a trophy in the game, and it wasn't. But I'm also pretty sure the Goat Sim devs are not watching this video, so hopefully, hopefully they wouldn't hear any of this idealizing. Unknown number again. Just thought everything was back to normal. We hopped into our Universal Flux Orbiter to go back to the future. Unfortunately, we were prevented from doing so by a more cataclysmic event. Uh-oh. So that's gonna be the storyline now. Then travel back in time again. Together we devised a plan. What do you need me to clean then? Time... Ran out of time fuel and dropped out in the year 1289. Ooh, that sucks, of all the places to get trapped in history. One building that we knew about, this temple. Send a message to me. Our only hope, provided this phone's battery holds true. Well, they're bringing in time travel stuff again. So I guess that's what all of these are. Once we get the room mostly clean, we're going to have to take another look at these on the wall. Yeah, no shame that you, How was it... What was possible to cheat on with it? Because... I'm just curious, like, how did people manage to exploit it? Because I did it legitimately twice. And it was obnoxious both times, for sure, but one of them... One version didn't take that long, one version took like a solid hour. What could you possibly do to cheat on that? Like, was there a debug somewhere hidden in the game? A secret? I don't know. You guys are gonna have to tell me what you did for that, because I legitimately don't know. Because I can promise you, if I had known of any way to get it easier, I would have. I feel like you could almost make a modern trophy video just out of going for that one trophy. It would be a shorter video, sure, but I'm sure that you probably could if you really wanted to. But that also, you know, that makes sense that they would release the DLC soon, because they make it go free on PS Plus, and then suddenly a bunch of new people have played it, so now you can release a paid DLC, presumably, and suck money out of people that now have an incomplete trophy list, so brilliant move on their part. Just like what they do with those Train Sim World games. They make the games free and then release a shitload of paid DLC over the years after. Best you could do was 4. I mean, I eventually beat it on both versions, but it was not easy. Not something I would ever want to do again. We played that a little bit in college, though, because that's right when it came out on PS4 and everything, so me and my roommates played it a little bit back in college. That was around the time of, like, Rocket League and stuff. Used to play a lot of Rocket League with my roommates, so that was good old days. I'm actually really surprised we haven't gotten the PS5 version of Rocket League. I feel like that would have been a really good choice for them. Sure, it would have made plenty of money. I don't know if the game's just not popular enough anymore or what. Put a video, or found a video on how to make the game and slow down. You have to make a bunch of stuff happen all at once near it. Oh, okay. So that's really not an exploit, though. That's just bad game design being used. That's just people finding a creative way to use bad game design. Yeah, it just seems like a creative way to use bad game design, so... And the game was designed to be, like... not necessarily bad, but just weird like that. All we need is to take out the Heartstone of the Pacifist Desert statue, give it a quick 180 flip, and pop it back in again. Couldn't be simpler. Okay. Don't worry about us. We love it here in the past. After the jet setting is really nice to stay put somewhere, fourth dimensionally speaking. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be stuck in the 1200s. Freaking Middle Ages. That would be like the worst possible time to be alive. You ever see videos on like all the medieval torture methods and devices and stuff? Seems like the worst possible time you could have been alive. Even if it was, you know, 50 to 100 years before the Black Death. But then again, this is potentially, I mean, this is all in America, so never reached over here, I don't believe. It shouldn't have. Remember Your Best was 7, it's probably still up on YouTube. Probably. Because that's not really something they can patch either, because that's just literally an issue with the game itself, with the amount of stuff going on screen. They could probably patch it on like a PS5 version or something if they had added it, like added that in as a trophy, but they didn't, so. And still gotta wonder how a modern-day garden gnome got in here. I'm sure that will be so well explained at some point. I mean, I know it won't, but... yeah, I would not want to be stuck in the year 1289. At least go back to, like, the, 1700s or something, to where it wasn't that crazy. Go back to the founding of America and the founding of France. Like the French Revolution, the American Revolution, all that stuff. Era of Napoleon. Or better yet, go back to the early 1900s, when one person's income was enough to buy a house, a car, vacations, have a family, all that kind of stuff. Go back to then. You'd be treated like gods there. Do whatever you wanted, pretty much. How was it when it slowed down? And the ceiling is almost cleared, so I wonder what our next job's going to be after this, actually. So I haven't seen another one pop up like they sometimes do, so it's pretty clear they wanted us to focus on this one for now. All the lore and story implications and such. Okay, that's cleaned, and that's cleaned, and that's cleaned. Clean, clean, clean all around. Almost up to that 90%. Let's go. Ceiling's almost good. Outside of maybe the center here. I would be curious, though, if anyone decides to play this game in co-op. Like, if it works correctly for everyone. Like, if it unlocks trophies for everyone. Only one problem, someone's stolen the gem. Let me guess, it's that guy from the first game that was the villain, if I had to guess. Yeah, I'd be curious to know how this one... one, how it plays in co-op, and two, if you're actually able to get all the trophies in co-op, even if you're not the host. Because I think that was a problem in the first game, was like... if you weren't the host, it didn't save your progress, or maybe you couldn't unlock trophies. I don't think there was a multiplayer, actually, when it first released, either. I think that was added in later. Because if you could do it that way, you could absolutely beat this game a lot faster. You got 4 people cleaning different areas of the area all at once. Like, you get through this, like, in a fourth of the time, maybe like 10 to 15 hours at most. I actually wonder what the fastest achiever time is on PSN profiles. I can look that up here in a second. I'm now curious. Makes the game so much easier. It took you 3 attempts. Oh, nice. I want to say in one version I got through it relatively fast, but in the other version it took me like an hour to do. Which is nowhere near as extreme as, say, Mile High Club in Call of Duty 4, that took me over 500 attempts. That's still one of the most insane things I've done, because I did it legitimately. And now the percentage has probably gone up a lot because there's a glitch in the game that you can use. Not have to actually beat it. Which, to be fair, I've done a lot of the Call of Duty games without really any sort of, like, exploiting anything, if it was available. Because, like, I did everything in Black Ops 3 solo. Including the harder trophies. Is my old phone alright? I'd recognize that distinct lack of features anywhere. Because I did that one without just playing it in solo the whole time. Didn't use the exploit for COD 4 or any of the PS3 games. The only thing I ever did was I used the veteran glitch for like one mission in Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. Because, and it wasn't even for the whole mission, it was just for like, because I could not get through the final part of it after like an hour of attempts. That's like the only time I've ever done anything exploity with that. Unless you count being completely carried through zombies, which I don't count that as an exploit, so to do it then you need 3 more trophies. Nice. Hopefully you can. See, I don't consider being carried through to be exploits because you're still doing it. You just got someone else telling you exactly what to do every step of the way. And if you're not good at it, they might just do most of the steps for everyone. And I have been carried through a few of the games. I got completely carried through Black Ops 3's DLC. I still have no idea what happened during half of that. I just would follow orders. Person tells me what to do, I do exactly what they tell me to do, and we end up getting the trophies. And I have no idea what's going on. Same thing with Infinite Warfare with Beast from Beyond. Like, I was actively participating for both. Like, I did Raven the Redwoods and the base game all on my own. And then I did Challenge Shuffle, I got carried through, but I had known what to do. I just kept having bad luck when I tried to do it on my own. So I could at least hold my own there. Attack of the Radioactive Thing, I could mostly hold my own in that one as well. But Beast from Beyond, I still have absolutely no idea what the hell happened on that map. Because that was back during COVID. And that's at a time where, like, I was drunk every night pretty much for, like, a few months. Just, like, early COVID. Or even, maybe not even early COVID, but just during COVID. There was a time where that was happening. So I legitimately don't remember anything about that DLC. I just followed orders, I guess, and just did exactly what I needed to do, and ended up having all the trophies. That was such a weird time. Such a weird time. I'd like to get the PS3 version of Goat Simulator, but not paying $20 for it. I don't blame you, but I'm actually surprised it's still that expensive. Now, for the most part with COD games, I do everything the way you're intended to do it. Which I am fairly proud of. Like, I've had to get carried through some of the zombies, but that's really about it. And it's nice because Call of Duty tends to have such rare platinums these days because even in the modern day, so many people buy the games that you're automatically going to get usually a pretty rare platinum. So it's a good franchise to play if you want a lot of really rare trophies and rare platinums. Because a lot of the games really are not insanely hard. They just might take a lot of time or have 1 or 2 annoying trophies in there. Alright, we're at 95%, that's good. Because, like, Advanced Warfare is a sub 5%, even though it's actually an easy platinum. It's like a sub 5%, I think, on both versions. Black Ops 2 is its fair as to why it's so uncommon at this point, because, like, I think Black Ops 2 is a sub 1% now, so it's like my third game that's a sub 1%. And that's heavily because it's unattainable now. It's the only COD game that really is, aside from Black Ops 3's PS3 version. Because I think the only Call of Duty games that have, like, a double-digit completion rate, I think the only ones are Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered Call of Duty Classic does, but that's probably because, one, it didn't have any multiplayer, and two, back in the early days of it, you could use an exploit to get through Veteran without actually beating it on Veteran, supposedly. And then the auto pops, of course, are far more common now. Like all the new versions that you can auto pop, those are all much more common. But that's to be expected because it's an auto pop. And I did do that because there is no way in hell you will ever see me do another 50,000 zombie grind on Modern Warfare 3 zombies. If I have to do a 50,000 zombie grind on whatever the next game is, Black Ops 7 or whatever comes after it, sure, that's fine. I actually expected at this point, after the augment grind that we got in Black Ops 6, I fully expected at this point. I'll just be annoyed if it happens. Okay, we cannot be missing that much in here. Maybe these statues... Oh, no, this pillar's not done yet. Get that area there as well. Perfect. That looks like most everything down here. There might be one or two more things down here, but we'll find them later on. So there's the phone, the mystical special phone object. Let's file a lawsuit against Emery Asmongold and a bunch of other content creators for defamation. And he's most likely going to lose. I don't even know who that is. Obviously I know who, like, Asmongold is, but I don't know who that other person is. Okay, so you know what? Now that I got a second here, I want to check what the fastest achiever time for Powerwash 2 is right now. 1,000 people have the platinum. It's a near 20%. Fastest achiever is 1 day, 2 hours. So, non-stop playing, that's 26 hours. Is Illusion even in the top 50 now? I'm not even sure if he's in the top 50 anymore. That's insane, because he did that game way faster. Like 28 hours or something. That's crazy. Bunch of Stellaris updates, but still not seeing any updates for Call of Duty to tell us what the new trophy list is going to look like. Pulling up Powerwash Sim again. So yeah, 1,000 people have it, and the fastest times are a day and 2 hours, which is, again, 26 hours, which is, if you can do it in co-op, is actually a pretty realistic time. Like, I could see that being a realistic time if you did the game in co-op. Hey, get shanked. 26. Yep. They pushed it back, and in all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed it back to 2027 then. But again, I would rather them get it right if it takes them longer than screw it up when it's literally probably the most anticipated game of all time alongside, like, Elder Scrolls 6 and Half-Life 3. So I'd rather them get it right. Especially if it's going to be a $100 game, because that's going to be awful. It's going to become a standard at that point, most likely. They tried to sell the Outer Worlds 2 for $80, but it wasn't buying. Like, it wasn't working. I think that game's kind of flopped from what I've heard. Maru's ex-boyfriend, and she accused him of abuse with some evidence backing it up. There's clips of it being rude and making her uncomfortable. Oof. I will just say, though, to some degree, innocent until proven guilty, because, I mean, some of us probably saw what happened with Chugga Conroy back in 2024, and all the insanity that happened with him, and how it all turned out to either be false or heavily over-exaggerated, and it, like, nearly killed him. Like, literally, it nearly killed him. So, I do always take everything with a grain of salt these days. But if there's actual, like, on-video evidence, I guess that's kind of a different scenario, but... threatening to sue a bunch of people for defamation, it's not going to get you anywhere, most likely. Probably don't have a case for that, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I just remember the whole Checker Conroy thing, and that was insane. Like, thought he was never going to upload again, or anything. Everyone was worried about him. Everyone turned against him so quickly, and then he came back with all the receipts and everything 6 months later, basically completely cleared himself. Okay, so staircase is probably about the last thing we got to do here. Take that in the wall. Okay, we're up to 99%. Okay, there we go. 99%, 3 objects left. Let's go. That's 2 more. 1 more. And what's left? 1 segment of wall. Let's go! The issue with the lawsuit is that Mrs. already admitted that he abused her. Oh, okay then. Okay. Yep. Never mind then. They've already admitted it, then that's a different scenario. That changes things. At that point, there's not really anything else that needs to be proven if they admit it. Alright, let's head back to the base real quick. I love having actual Perrier. I've talked about that before, though. Aw, it's our kitties. Let's pet Bubbles. Aw, it's Bubbles. And it's Ulysses. Ulysses doesn't seem all that interested. Aww, Squeaker. Aww, he's sleeping like my dog does. He's so cute. He's so cute. Okay, what can we buy right now? Okay, so... we own everything for the Urban X1. Everything for that washer. Okay, so we own everything for the light-duty washers. The medium-duty, I'm not going to rebuy this until the end of the game. I'm just going to stick with our heavy-duty washer for now, because I don't really think there's a point of buying any other ones. Any camos? Nope. Ooh, so that's what we can use power wash points on. So now we can buy all the different furnitures, and we can actually use some of those power washing points. Excellent. Okay, our next job is the car and trailer, which I think does have a trophy tied to it. It's just him dumping a bunch of money for no reason issue with... okay then. Almost done with the S rank on Crow Country, then have the Platinum. Very nice. Let's talk about a 70s Saints Row game. I thought Saints Row was dead after the most recent flop and the studio shutting down. Clean the satellite dish first. Alright, we have a job-specific trophy here. The satellite dish first. Easy enough. I like it when it's an easy trophy like that. Let's see. It's probably going to be near the bottom. Satellite dish. There it is. Oh, nope, not that washer. Okay, make sure I'm using the right one this time. This one actually looks like it could be a little more of a problem just because there's so much stuff right up here, and I don't want to accidentally clean something else. It's all part of it. The gentle white noise ambiance. Now I can focus. Oh, is he like living out here? Is he in the doghouse or something with his wife? And that's why he's out here? It's gonna need some soapiness, I think. And there it is. Easy peasy trophy. There is talk about it. That's interesting then, because I could have sworn that Saints Row was basically a dead franchise at this point, but... Hey, if they can bring it back and make it as good as Saints Row 2 and 3, people would buy it. I'm honestly very surprised that they wouldn't have tried to, like, remake Saints Row 2 as a last-ditch effort, because that's one that's loved by a lot of people. I mean, I still love Saints Row 3. I had a great time playing that back in the day. We're already at 16%, 17%, so this one's going to go quickly. And 20% already, let's go. That's odd, I found some coordinates hidden in an unfinished, very hard Sudoku puzzle. Oh man, does anyone remember Sudokus? Carolyn polished one of those off in seconds not to face it like that. Yeah, back in like elementary school especially, like everyone I knew at school was like obsessed with Sudoku. For like a full like 6 months to a year. And, like, we even had, like, you know, physical Sudoku puzzle books and stuff. Oh, man, I remember those days. Good old days. Just want to remaster 1 and 2. Especially 2. Because that's the only one that really isn't... Because it's like, Saints Row 3, of course, was on PS3, then it had its remaster on PS4. Or was it a port? It might have just been a port. Saints Row 4 had a PS4 version. Saints Row Get Out of Hell had a PS4 version. But Saints Row 2 is only on the older consoles. Alright, so there's some stuck-on rust there, so we're going to have to clean that with a soap. Another game I might try out is Stalker 2, the Chernobyl one. Because me and Lizard Guy played that a little bit on PC back when I was down there in Florida, like nearly a year ago at this point. Holy shit, it's been like 9 months since I was down there. That's crazy. It's crazy that I've been at my job for like 9 months as well. What's she done that for? What are you talking about? Moved my Theodolite on the balcony to point to a very specific point near the falls. Ooh. Sounds like some lore implications, if you ask me. Definitely sounds like some lore implications. Alright, let's get that soap on up. All the rusty parts soaked on up. Excellent. Get the wheel well here. Get the wheels themselves. Ooh, this whole back part needs a pretty good cleaning. It's going to need some soap here in a second as well. Would gladly throw money at those. Oh, I would too. 3 is good, but 2 is better. That's what I've heard. That's definitely what I've heard. And I actually own 2 on the PS3. I bought it a long time ago on like a good discount sale. Just never really got the chance to play it. Just so busy with so many, like, other games that I want to play. Yeah, Stalker 2 is a possibility that me and Lizard Guy talked about. He was telling me I should try to stream it or something. So maybe. It's got that Fallout-esque atmosphere. I mean, it's similarities to it, so... could be good. Just trying to think of stuff that'll be popular, you know, at this point. Stuff that'll be good and popular. Maybe consider trying to multi-stream between here and Twitch, which again, I would assume my laptop can handle it, given that we were able to do it when I was in Florida for that few days, so... But me and him will hang out again some point in the future. I don't know if it'll be Christmas or Thanksgiving or even like next year, but would love to be able to record some more, do some dual streaming, all that kind of good stuff. Try to get him back into streaming, too, because he just never really does it. Any chance you're free to help out at the theater? The theater has a trophy tied to it, so we'll be doing that soon enough. Because we do really well together as, like, a comedic duo. It's nice because we can just jump off of one another and not have to be the only one talking the whole time. Tends to work out very well. And I mean, we're basically brothers, so... it'd be fun. It'd be fun to do that again. Really is beyond the pale. The book together is left open on a map of the rushless area, and she's drawn a huge X on it? Okay. So I guess we don't have to clean the interior. I guess it's just the exterior. And we're already 70% of the way through this job, so... this game does have a lot of fairly short jobs, I will say that. But I'm sure it has its fair share of long jobs, and we've had a few longer ones so far. Not insanely long ones tonight, but probably will by some point tonight, if we keep playing. Ooh, there's multiple new jobs available. Heard from Lou at the gas station, make a splash with my motel refurb. Ooh, okay. So we had a couple of big jobs coming up. The motel and whatever the other one was that looked bigger. Get the wheels. Get everything. And that makes everything so much easier to clean. Yeah, soap is definitely a little bit overpowered in this game, so I'm not mad about that, though. I'm actually very happy about that. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, given that they were supposedly nerfing it from the previous game. Because in the previous game, it basically removed any grime under it, but you were so limited on the amount you could purchase, because you actually had to purchase it. And, like, challenges heavily limited you on how much you could have, stuff like that. And let's clean the arm, clean this area. Alright, that might be everything on the actual trailer done. Oh, no, it's... unless there's... yeah, there's still a little bit more. Never mind. And there's also that thing right there that needs it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I do like the way it works in this game, so... definitely makes the game easier at times. It looks like it's just something on the underside that isn't fully cleaned yet. Alright, let's get to the car now. Get all parts of this side of the car nice and soaked up. All them dings. Oh, it's so satisfying. All the satisfaction. And we're almost up to 90%, which is awesome. We'll see if we get another lore drop at 90 on this one. Yes, we do. I'm denser than peridotite? I don't think that's a real element. I'm assuming that's a made-up element. Because I don't recognize that at all. Karen set one of her puzzles for you. Which one's Karen? Here I come, Karen. Ready or not. Interesting conversation, I suppose. You guys are like brothers, only closer. No, we're not quite... We don't quite have hearts that are connected like that. But no, we're basically like brothers, because we grew up as neighbors and best friends, so... And we're extremely similar in, like, most ways, so... I mean, we wouldn't have made a channel. There would be no YouTube channel without him, so... He was the one that first suggested it. And I was the cameraman in the early days. Back when I literally had to hold it, without a tripod, because I didn't know we owned a tripod for the first, like, few months. Oh, the good old days of very crappy quality videos. Which is good humor playing Mercenaries 2. That's another one we need to do at some point, is Mercenaries 1. Need to do that game on Retro Achievements. That one definitely concerns me, though, because I know it's actually seems to be fairly challenging. It's a lot of missable trophies. Like, a shitload of the achievements are very heavily missable, because they're, like, level specific and stuff, and you can't replay a lot of them. And almost everything is now good. All the dings. This little trailer hitch area is not clean yet. And this underside isn't cleaned yet. Alright, 3 things to go. Perfect. Okay, this hitch is not fully cleaned yet. Ooh, the roof is definitely not clean yet. Well, a few areas to get up here. Yeah, the old ZP Stunts content, that was something else. Back in the day, that was something else entirely. Just us acting like idiots playing first Mercenaries 2 and then Just Cause 2. Ah, but good old days, though. Much better once we eventually found a tripod. Back in the days of recording with a camera. Okay, that was a pretty easy job, as to be expected. And I think we have, like, 3 new ones available. So let's head back to headquarters, see what we can buy. Yeah, we got 2 new jobs available. Everything's a little too expensive right now, so... I guess we can go back and start buying some of the older ones, because there's no way we're going to have a professional one yet. Like, I don't see any way we could have a professional one by the time we beat the game. They're just too expensive. And we have to buy everything in the game anyway, so we can always resell it if we have to. So we just have three full washers left. No camos. New furniture. Excellent. No new camos there either. Yeah, spend those points. We don't want to waste them. Okay, let's check out the motel next. Ooh, that looks very dirty. That looks like a very large job, actually. So let's see what the motel trophy is. I think there is one here. Clean all the room doors, door handles, and door numbers first. Okay, that's unusually complicated. The doors, door handles, and numbers first. That's actually rather complicated. Because that frame is separate. Yeah, the frame is a separate thing, so we're going to have to be kind of careful on this one. That still counts as part of the... Oh, no, that's separate. That's a step. Okay. This one is going to be annoying. This is definitely going to be one of the more annoying ones in the game. Okay, door's good. How many doors are there going to be? That's the problem. If there's going to be like 10 plus doors, this is going to be a rather tedious one. Okay. This is going to be a tedious one. Okay. Okay, there's no more out there, though, so it looks like it's just 2 floors. Which isn't as bad. Why is everyone's place so dirty? So, in the first game, it was the fact that, like, the volcano was the whole thing going on with it. And that was, like, why everything was so dirty. It had to do with the volcano. This game, I really don't know. Yeah, this game I really don't know. The first game, it had to do with the volcano. Yeah, this one, I don't know. In a 6-room motel? How are you making any money off of that? 6 rooms? I guess you don't need much housekeeping staff at that point. Maybe like 1 person for housekeeping, and then you run the front desk if it's your motel, so maybe like 1 other employee beyond that for stuff like maintenance. But even so. I love how I'm trying to figure out the logistics of a motel and Powerwash Simulator that only has 6 rooms. They're probably just selling drugs out of one of the rooms, and that's how they probably make all their overhead, being honest. Okay. So I think it is only 6, though. Yeah, if we can get this out of the way, this is going to be one of the more tedious trophies, I think, done. Unless the movie theater one's bad, too. I don't know. %. Welcome to the Den of Zen. The Denizen? Got it! Alright. If there's no one else to clean, no, we're the world's best power washer, Cassie. We are the world's best. They only want the best out here. Oh yeah, this is going to be a long job. Yep, this one's going to be a long one. Which is fine, it's what I fully expect from this game, but looks like we're getting a couple of long jobs all at once. But at least now we can just do whatever we want on this job, so makes life a little bit easier. Already 2% of the way there. Those lights look like the ones in, like, Lego Star Wars. Because, yeah, I think the one for the movie theater is kind of similar to this. I think it's like clean a bunch of stuff first again. But yeah, I do wonder what this other doomsday thing is going to be that they're talking about. That's what they were sort of hinting at with that previous job in the temple. I love how we bring our cats to all the job sites. I guess emotional support or something. Which I can't blame them, our cats are adorable. I'm, of course, more of a dog person, but I love pretty much all types of animals. Even some of the weird ones. And this is already looking much better. 6% of the way in already. Aw, hey, Bubbles. I get it, I wouldn't want to clean all this either, true. But we're the best in the world when it comes to power washing, or at least in this area. They only want the best. Yeah, I'll be curious to see, like, exactly what caused the dirt this time. Because, again, in the first game, I'm pretty sure it was, like, something to do with the volcano. No, I'm not entirely sure on that. I'd actually have to look into that. And clean all the cacti, because they're not dying from this giant amount of water sprayed on them. Like they might in real life. Being overwatered. And more cactuses. All of them cactuses. Which I still have a cactus that's alive that's been around for a few years. They're pretty resilient, as you might expect. I only bought it because of its shape and because the fact it was like $3 or something. I got 3 plants living in the house right now. I've got that one. I've got a bamboo plant, which has done reasonably well. And then I've got a chives plant that I've had since COVID. Since literally, like, early days of COVID. And it's a chives plant. It hasn't stopped growing somehow. Even when I neglect to take care of it at times, it's still going. Very resilient plant. Oh, that's the sign, isn't it? Yep. The garden's probably about done for the year, though, because, like, I think it's actually going to freeze next week, so I'll try to cover it and keep it protected for now, but I think most of it's done for, and the first frost usually kills anything that's left. Which again, like, this year the weather's been so mild compared to a lot of years. No hurricanes in any, like, part of the United States for the most part. Only, like, one hit us at all. Winter for the... or summer, I mean, for the most part, wasn't anything insane. Last winter was also fairly mild. I'm gonna hope for no snow, because, well, I say that, but then it might get me out of work for a day, so maybe I'm not mad about that if that happens. Let's get the sign. All those letters are separate things somehow, and we're only 10% of the way in, but it's already looking better. Mostly cleaning the floor right now. Gonna live stream Little Nightmares 2 tomorrow at 8. Close to finishing the game. Nice, nice. Very nice. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Thankfully, your stuff now shows up, so I finally got that subscription to happen and all. So hopefully it's all good and working. Okay, that's most of that sign. We'll come back for some more of it later here. Then I'm going to get some more of the floor first. And there's another one of our kitties. I wouldn't want him to run off, though. I'd be worried about him running off or something if I brought him out to the job site like this. Especially out in the middle of the desert. They need lots of... They probably need food and water out here. At least the water part of it. It's probably very hot out here. Alright, that part's good. Try to pop in, yeah. Hopefully I can pop in at least for a few minutes before I start my stream tomorrow. Which I don't even know if I'll be playing Powerwash or something else. We'll have to figure that out. We could play the other version of House of the Dead just for something different. I don't know. I'll see. Or depending on what retro achievements pops up, there might be a brand new game that I desperately want to do. Like, say Freedom Fighters randomly pops up at some point, or Rock Power Beach Bandits, or something like that. I need to see if the original Just Cause is on there, actually. I kind of forgot about that one. The one on PS2. It's not a very good game, especially compared to Just Cause 2, but it could be a fun one to play through again. There's always Fallout Brotherhood of Steel as well that I gotta play someday, which certainly not looking forward to that. Plus it's loaded with missable achievements, so that's always fun. I just remember Min Squad, he did a video of that game a long time ago. And it was like, can you beat Fallout Brotherhood of Steel without wanting to die? And he failed entirely. Because he wanted to die and didn't actually beat the game. At all. There better be a tribute or a reference or something to him in Season 2 of the show, by the way. There better be. He deserves it. He was critical of the whole world of Fallout. Stream for about an hour and then can show up the stream later. Sounds good. I mean, I can't believe it's only like another month and a half until Fallout comes back on TV. Can't freaking wait. Season 3 is also already announced. Although everyone's going to be whining about the lore probably day in and day out for their like an 8-week period when it comes out, because it's releasing on a weekly basis instead of all at once this time. So that means we're going to have to put up with random lore whining for like a 2-month period of time. If people aren't happy about the way the lore goes. We're finally going to potentially get a canon ending for Fallout New Vegas, which is going to be interesting. Everyone's saying how insane it would be if they actually had the balls to do the nuking New Vegas ending from Dead Money. Or just like all the nuking endings, so like that one plus the nuke everyone ending from Lonesome Road. Will they actually have the balls to pull something like that off? Probably not. It would be something. I've never even gotten that Dead Money ending, though, because, like, I don't like playing that DLC, because that DLC is really annoying. I haven't played that DLC since I Let's Played the game back in, like, 2017. Alright, we're at 20%. What's this person got to say? In our blue rooms, we have our economy option, River Blessings. Pop yourself on a sunken waterbed and let the sounds of the river wash over you. A waterbed. I haven't heard of one of those in a very long time. Yeah, I'm very much overly familiar with the sound of water at this point. So maybe not your best opening move. Especially with some of the weird sounds this thing makes as we wash. We're over 20%, so progress is progress. Once we get away through this job, though, I might just switch over to the other one so we can at least knock out the trophy, and then I finish some of this other stuff off stream again. It's going to take a very long time otherwise. And we've got a vending machine back here. What kind of soda do we sell in this universe? I see spray, lubrication. Okay, that's an interesting name. Dregs and Dregs Light. Why is there a soda called lubricant? Or lubrication? You know what? I probably should not be asking that, because this is the exact kind of motel where I would expect the idea of lubrication to come into play. This is the exact kind of motel I would expect something like that to come into play. Which we have a crappy rundown motel in our town that I'm assuming probably has some of those problems. I don't know, it just looks so sketchy even just driving by it. It's not like it's in a bad place or anything, but it looks just super bad and run down. And I have to wonder why anyone would stay there, and then I think about the reason why they probably are staying there. Actually see how expensive it is there. It's probably jacked up its price like everything else has in the world. I probably wouldn't want to take a blacklight in there if I was going to stay. I'd rather live in ignorance. And we still haven't... How do you clean dirt? No, seriously, how do you clean the dirt that this is in without just completely removing the dirt entirely? Yep, column all the way up top. The other side of it. Almost a quarter of the way there, though, which isn't bad. Like, progress is coming along after we got through that initial trophy. Just the outsides, the little hinges, the interior, and of course the top. And the soda machine is good. The wall looks better. And let's clean off these AC units. And they're looking much better, thank you very much. Soap, you make life so much easier for me. And perfect. Alright, about to hit 25% on our job here, which is good. Even once I finish the grind that is Powerwash 2, I gotta jump right back onto the grind that is Death Stranding. I haven't played that in forever. Need to start working on it again, just like sit down for a week or so and finish it. It's mostly just maxing out locations at this point and a few miscellaneous things. We'll get around to it eventually, though, and there's Death Stranding 2 at some point. Probably, like, next year or something. And if they want to release DLC for the second one, at least I'll have some time until that happens. And just do it all at once or something. Opening soon. So is this motel not even open yet? Perfect. And got a little sidewalk action here to clean up. At least get this part of it cleaned. It's not even really a sidewalk. And the road just... Okay, for a second I thought the road just ended there, but no, it's because it's a parking lot, duh. So I don't see why it needs that big of a parking lot if you can only have 6 rooms. Okay, get that ledge. Those little chains. The interior of the palm tree. And the pot's good. Get the outside of the tree, perfect. Now we gotta get the leaves. Just like that other job, but a much smaller scale version of it. Excellent. Hey, sweet. We cleared a few jobs tonight, so missed a little bit of the story aspects, but it looks like there's time travel again involved. And apparently we're going to have to save the world again because reasons. Let's get both these window sills and get the pillar. And that upper area. 28%, that's good. Take 2 stock went down hard today. Oh, I'm sure it did. Would be a perfect time to buy it, but ain't making enough to purchase it. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm sure the next time they release a trailer or something, it'll go back up. But yeah, we were talking about that earlier in the stream. It's unfortunate, but I would rather them delay it and actually make it right than release it in a bad state. And it's not like I have a shortage of games to play right now, so... When I'm suddenly feeling hungry, but I should not feel hungry at all because I ate a lot for dinner. I didn't eat lunch though, so I guess maybe that's why. Okay, this wall is actually almost done, so it's just going to be the windows at that point, which I'll need a little bit more elevation for. Got it. And that little block right there. Perfect. Want to delay it till 2027. There's a very real chance that'll end up happening, honestly. There's a very real chance it'll get delayed further. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it does. Again, as long as the game comes out good, I'm not going to be mad if they delay it a bit. It's just planning out for when we eventually write a guide for it, because several of us are going to be working on that, and it's probably going to be like 3 or 4 separate guides for it going on at once, so whoever ends up writing it will probably end up being the most viewed guide on the platform of all time when it happens, so it's got to be good. Get one big shot at that. So it's going to have to be good. Because the Red Dead 2 guide is still the second most viewed on the website, so and this place is definitely looking better, a third of the way in. Actually comes out good, it'll go even higher. Good supply of shares, I'll probably go up to 450. So yeah, that's like, what, twice what it is now? From what you said earlier? Yeah, it's about twice what it is currently. That is a nasty pool, though, so these people must never actually fill the pool or anything like that. But you would think they would want to do that in California. Having a pool is probably an appealing thing. Get the table. Tables are looking a lot better already. Get them chairs. Strongly recommend investing in it. Yeah, I probably should. Probably should consider doing something like that. Not particularly knowledgeable when it comes to stocks and everything. It's also nice not drinking out of a can, so I can actually close the bottles. I don't worry about spilling them everywhere or anything like that. I've literally drank almost an entire, like, 24-pack of Perrier so far this week. So, yeah. That's my water addiction with sparkling water, at least. And a lot of caffeine this week, so that's to be expected, though. This has been a very, very busy week, so I'm very glad for the weekend. This is probably the busiest week we're going to have for a while, so Get through this week. Be a lot more chill. Well, next week's going to be kind of busy too, so... Not probably as bad, but still fairly bad. Invested in, buy as many lottery tickets with it. I feel like their stocks are probably a better option than lotto tickets, because stocks are probably guaranteed to go up, or they are guaranteed to go up when the game comes out. But lottery tickets are a 1 in 290 million chance for the Mega Millions, and like 1 in 300 million for Powerball. And I don't play the lottery unless it gets to pretty high values, which they both currently are. Because, like, Mega's at, like, a 400-something million, and... No, wait, Mega's at, like, 850 million. Powerball's at, like, 400 million. That's a rare time where it's worth it for me to consider buying lotto tickets. Usually I play it when it hits like 500 million is when I'll start playing it. Because your odds aren't any better. The only way to increase your own odds is to buy more tickets. That's something that people fall into. They're like, oh, you have a better chance of winning when there's not many people playing. That is entirely false. The only way to increase your own personal odds of winning are to buy more tickets. The chances that someone in the country wins, of course, goes up when more people are buying tickets and the jackpot's higher. But your own individual chances of winning are not higher. That's a fallacy that people fall into. Yeah, get that 800-something million. I'll be buying a house in Japan and getting an expat visa to live over there for the next few years. Spend my days exploring temples, playing pachinko, eating good food, live streaming for a career that I don't actually need at that point because got more than enough money. That would be the life. That'd be the life. Marry a cute Japanese girl. All that good stuff. The motel sign still needs some cleaning. Video is good for long term. Just need to sell off the extra Legos, get from minifigure lots, and make cash from it. Sounds good. Invest and take 2 stocks. Probably a few thousand throw in. Yeah, I think that it's probably better if we invest now before they release another trailer for the game. Because next time they release a trailer, I'm sure it's going to shoot up again. Or any sort of announcement like that. Hey, Robbie. Yeah, that'd be the dream. Just win that 850 million, which is, you know, only like 400 million after taxes. I say only, but the amount that you lose from taxes is absolutely insane. And just go live in Japan for a few years. Well, actually, I don't know about that. I'd almost rather just, like, travel the world more than just settle down in one country for a few years. If I had that kind of money to where nothing mattered anymore and I could fly first class everywhere, I'd just travel. Try to visit as many countries as possible. Just go everywhere in Europe, everywhere in Asia, Australia, New Zealand. Parts of Latin America, South America, most of Africa. Like Dubai or some of the super nice places in the Middle East. So many places to go and visit. That game will be the biggest game in history, absolutely. All your money into Take-Two before GTA 6. In our standard rooms, we have our standard service Tingletown. A bed of... the fuck? What kind of John Kramer hellhole are you people running here? Water beds and nail beds are your two specialities. What in the actual fuck? No, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like a love hotel then. Different colored doors with differently themed rooms. I'm guessing this is supposed to be a love hotel. That doesn't make this any better, but it at least makes sense. At least that makes sense. Got water beds, beds of nails called tingle rooms. I'm now terrified to see what the 60% is going to be. What bit of lore are we going to get at 60%? What kind of weird-ass fetish are you going for on 60%? Still young, so won't have to lose much since you can gain it back. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's best to invest when you're young. It's like people that my parents know, like, we invest with certain people that we know, like accountant or whoever it is that we trust. Has always done a good job with family's money, so he's got investments put in with my money into, like, things that are a mixture of aggressive and safe. Some of it's more aggressive, some of it's just safe. Because aggressive is better when you're young because, again, like you said, you can keep making more if you're young. Whereas when you get older, you want to go more safe. Okay, let's get the interior of this umbrella. Managed to play Ghost of Yotai last night. Lots of fun. Also managed to get the last story trophy as your platinum trophy. So it was... okay, nice, nice. Easier than Tsushima? Oh, okay. But you like Tsushima a little bit more. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I feel like I'm going to like Tsushima more just because I feel like the story of that's going to make more sense. Because this one's like a revenge tale, whereas Tsushima was, you know, a guy trying to mix between following the samurai code, but also saving the people of the island. And I'm assuming this new person in the new game isn't actually a samurai, unless that was explained at some point and I forgot about it. Alright, let's jump on up. Clean off the top. Centerpiece is cleaned. Exterior's clean. Perfect. Oh, the table's not clean yet, though. Let's look on this table. A few little spots. Alrighty, so now down into the pool. Unless your time's valuable right now, investing in LEGO minifigures. Which is a good choice. Like, I mean, it's going to go up in value. It's not something that's going to go down in value. It's not a bad choice by any means. There's the drain, which apparently might not actually have its own object. If it gets a 50%, I'm going to go use the bathroom. that time of night with how much water I drink. Well, the pool's definitely looking better, but it's going to take a lot of water to fill this thing up, so I don't know why they would let it get that dirty. Oh, there's a diving board. I just realized that. Wait. Why the hell is there a diving board? This is like 3 foot of water. That's a very good question. Why the hell is there a diving board in like 3 foot of water? Maybe 4 feet. Diving boards are usually in like 8+ foot of water, so not like 3 or 4. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen, especially in the state of California. That's an easy lawsuit waiting to happen. Unless we're now in another state that has lesser liability issues. Buying a lot of LEGO minifigure lots where they sell them for less and getting extras is good, and already got the head. Fortunately, no helmets. Figure out the helmet sells for $35. Spent way less than that for it. That's good then. And oh yeah, the Pokemon trainer box. I remember when you were talking about that a couple of streams ago. Which, like my manager, her kids are all big into Pokemon. She's got 5 kids. And they're all big into Pokemon. Because that was her souvenir that I brought back from Japan. Because I brought back some stuff for the other co-worker. Food-based stuff for her. And then with this co-worker, brought him back some Pokemon stuff. Even though it was shockingly hard to actually find, like, Pokemon cards in Japan. That weren't just, like, reselling really high-quality, like, high-value ones. Maybe we just didn't look that hard, which is possible, but regardless. Yeah, that diving board should not be in a pool this shallow. That's a massive lawsuit waiting to happen. Not going to open any Pokemon trainer boxes, just stash them away, but open the booster packs occasionally. Sounds good. Remember, I watched a video from, I think it was Matt Stoney, one of the food channels, where he had to do a challenge where he had to keep eating Pokemon Happy Meals and for like the 20th anniversary or whatever it was, 25th anniversary. Because they released like 25 new cards exclusive to packs from Happy Meals. He had to eat like 25 Happy Meals to get all of them, and he was like miserable by the end of it. Which I'm sure I would be too after eating like half of that much. Because those are like 300 or 400 calories a piece. Eating 10 of them is too much for me. Much less 25 of them. Okay, the pool floor is clean. Let's get the stairs. Awesome. The walls are almost cleaned as well. Stairs are good. Sort of. And okay, stairs are good. And let's get our little bit of metal railing here. Oh, it's rusted. The outer trim of this as well. A little bit of spot on the floor. Trim's good. Let's soak this guy up and scrub it on down. And perfect. Alright, back to the floor. There's a lot more to clean here. Such a dirty motel. You can't dive in pools that are under 9 feet. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, this is, unless we're like 9 feet tall, which we are not, there ain't no way that's legal. It's also a seedy-ass motel in the middle of the desert, so it's entirely possible they could get away with something like that for a while until someone actually dies from it, but then they just go bury their body out in the desert behind us, so that's also a possibility. No longer alone, chat, yep. Told us that when you were training for the lifeguard job, and that makes sense, because I don't think I've never seen a diving board in a pool that shallow, so yeah, unless our guy is like 9 feet tall or something. So his head comes up like basically to the edge here. So, given the average human height of like 5'9" or something, whatever the average human height is, that's maybe 6 feet. We'll be generous and say 6 feet. So, yeah, there ain't no way that's happening. There's no way that's something that's legal. 6 foot of water, absolutely not. You could easily break your neck in that. Alright, I'm going to go pee real quick. I'll be right back. We will definitely get close to finishing this job, if not finish it. And then we've got another job to do after that in the theater. So I'll be right back. Okay, much better? No, don't switch washers. We don't need that. Could be 6 feet. Okay, yeah, like, regardless, though, it's definitely in violation of several laws. But again, if someone dies, you probably just go take and bury their body somewhere in these mountains and no one will ever find it. Okay, but this job is going reasonably well. I mean, over 50%. We got the trophy done for it. And that's good. So get the outer edge of the pool. Most of that's cleaned. And that ladder still needs a bit more. And okay, diving board's good. I mean, this place is looking a hell of a lot better, that's for sure, so... Definitely better than it was. That looks like graffiti, which is probably going to require some soap to fully clean. Which is fine. We'll just note that it's there for later. Not much later, most likely, but just in case. And I haven't been swimming in forever. I do enjoy swimming for sure. I enjoy pools and all that good stuff. I enjoy the beach. I will go out and swim in part of the ocean. Not super deep, but I will go out into the ocean. Which is brave for some people, because a lot of people really don't like going into the ocean because they don't trust it because you can't really see what's going on down there. And like, we know more about the moon and about space than we know about our own oceans. Supposedly. Speaking of oceans, Endless Ocean is on Retro Achievements, so if it ends up getting an achievement list, it's a Wii game, so if it gets an achievement list, that might be one to do at some point. That game was a lot of fun back in the day. Me and Lizard Guy played that a bunch of times. Never, like, fully beat it or anything, but played it pretty heavily. And there's a random smiley face drawn in. Of course there is. Interesting. Went swimming yesterday. Nice, nice. The bottom of the ocean's pretty scary. Yeah, some of the stuff that I see, like, I'm sure that some stuff is, like, AI and all, but, like, the ocean is definitely a scary place. Like, I understand why people go on cruises, but honestly, I don't fully get the appeal of it. Like, you're on a boat in the middle of absolutely nowhere, in the middle of the water, where every possible sea monster can come after you if they want to. There's probably, like, cryptids or dinosaurs of some kind still alive in there. Because when the meteor hit 60-something million years ago, there's probably stuff that survived in the water. There might be actual, like, swimming dinosaurs still alive somewhere. Cryptids, maybe cryptids. I remember when I was growing up, it was always 65 million years ago, and suddenly the narrative changed to 66 million recently, like in the last few years. All the weird timeline shifts we've been having. And that window is still missing something. It's the outside of it. Okay, perfect. That light. Perfect. Never been in the ocean, just in the pool. And yeah, again, I don't really blame you, because it's like, ocean is kind of creepy with how much of the earth it covers, the fact we don't know that much about large parts of it. Ooh, 60%. What's our lore drop? Green Rooms is our deluxe option rebirthday. All-encompassing edible egg surrounded by pure oxygen and gel. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a love hotel. Higher level of consciousness, the egg gently drifts across the room. Yeah, this is definitely supposed to be like a love hotel or something. We definitely know the kind of people that are coming here. You have to fight your way out through the door. Holy shit, how is this place still in existence? You've got a diving board that's, like, out of regulation, and a room where you literally have to fight your way out of a container to survive. And what kind of John Kramer bullshit is this for a place? Holy cow. This is literally like a giant Saw trap coming to life here. Which apparently there is another Saw movie in development, but it's in, like, development hell right now, so that's unfortunate. Because the 10th one was actually really good. Shockingly very good. Even though I will say, in reality, most of the characters should have lived because they actually did their tasks, but just didn't do them quite fast enough. So if it wasn't for the time limit, a lot more of them would have survived. Been in the ocean. Yeah, I mean, if you're staying in the super shallow water, it's one thing, but if you're actually going out there into deeper water, which I especially used to do when I was younger, I used to swim relatively far out. And, like, boogie board or bodyboard, whatever you want to call it. Nowadays, I worry more about the idea of the beach that we go to has had sharks over the years that makes me a little bit more worried. Like when me and the girl I was dating at the time, the one that was a teacher, not the crazy one, when we went to the beach in 2020, a giant dead shark washed up on the beach. Still have pictures of it because it was a pretty absurd thing. And, like, someone I know stepped on a stingray out there on the beach, and that was not a good experience by any means whatsoever. That was a horrible experience from what I could tell from it. Okay, we're still missing a few things here. Up top. Yep. It's this pillar. Well, no, we gotta clean the upper part of it too, probably. And it's still funny because it's like twice we were supposed to go on a cruise, but both times insane circumstances stopped it. So it makes me think that maybe we're just not supposed to ever go on one, like me and my parents. I think I've told this story before, but it was like, first time we were going to go was in 2019, when I was living up in Cincinnati, and like a day or two before we were going to leave for the flight to go down to the cruise, it was in port, and a crane or something fell on it and like destroyed a big chunk of the ship. Which was just bizarre, because that's not something that ever normally happens. So they ended up giving us a refund for it, obviously, plus a free cruise for the future. So then we rescheduled it for, you know, a year later. And then, like, 2 or 3 days before we were supposed to leave for that one, the world shut down from COVID. So clearly, we're just not meant to ever go on a cruise. Which I'm totally fine with. I'll take a beach any day over a random boat in the middle of the ocean, in all honesty. Or hell, I'll take Japan any day over a boat in the middle of the ocean. So yeah, that was some insanely random things to have happen, which makes me think that we're just not supposed to ever go on one. That's God telling us, don't get on that boat, bad things might happen. And I will listen to that. Almost been to a beach. I love the beach, though. Beach is wonderful. Sit out in the sun, nice hot sun. Sit in, like, the very shallow area of the water so you see everything that's going on, but you can still move fully and run away if something bad happens. Maybe see a random jellyfish or something pop up, you can just sprint away, no problem. Yeah, clearly we are not meant to ever go on a cruise because twice now insane circumstances disrupted the plan, so... And I'm fine with that. Again, I'll take a beach any day, I'll take Japan any day. I'll take Europe any day. I'll take pretty much anything over being out in the middle of the water and hoping I don't suffer from seasickness. Because I don't know how I would deal with that. Because, I mean, I've been on boats before, but only, like, small boats for very short rides. Which, me and the guys, we're trying to plan a beach trip for sometime in 2026. That'll be a lot of fun. Just me and the guys hanging out, going to the beach. Me and Lizard Guy maybe picking up girls, because he's military, so maybe he has more game than I do. I don't know what beach we'll go to, though. His family has a house on one place, my family has a house in another place. One of our other friends has a house in another place, so I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure it out when we get to that point at sometime in the future. It's like the beach they're at. The beach itself isn't really all that great. Although I don't think it has sharks in it, which is kind of nice. But there's plenty of stuff to do on that area, so... It's also further away than the one where my parents have a house at. Which I think that where they are, the beach is nicer, but it's not really a whole lot to do aside from sit on the beach and then go home and drink at night, because there's not really a whole lot going on. Their beach had a really fun, like, or a really unique, like, laser tag thing that we did. It was okay. It wasn't anything, like, amazing by any means, but I could see us going and doing that or something. That could actually be kind of fun. Or just playing drunk mini golf. That would actually be hilarious. That'd actually be a lot of fun now that I think about it. Just get an Uber to take us there. And just get shit-faced and then play mini golf. He'll probably lose like 10 mini golf balls or something. Oh, I don't know, but that'll be fun whenever we plan that out. It'll be like Vegas, but nowhere near as expensive. And nowhere near as trashy. Because, like, Vegas is insane now, because I'll sometimes watch the videos that just show, like, how badly Vegas has deteriorated as a city entirely. Like, just everything out there is just so insanely expensive. The shows, the room fees, the flights out there aren't that cheap anymore. The food everywhere is insanely expensive. Because when we went out there in 2024 for the bachelor party, like, the good of it was, obviously we had a great time, and we were just out there to screw around and have fun. Me and Lizard Guy had a fairly reasonably priced hotel room because we were at one of the crappier hotels, so the price wasn't too bad. We bought our own alcohol from the, like, ABC or grocery store or whatever, so we didn't buy very many drinks anywhere. And that sign is not clean yet. Like, at the same time, like, the food was just insanely expensive everywhere. The few drinks that we did buy were insanely expensive everywhere. Not even that good. The strip club we went to was insanely expensive. I mean, the guy that was getting married spent an insane amount of money there. Which was kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually a funny situation. But he spent a lot of money there that I was not expecting to see him do. Which it was accepted by the whole relationship and everything, but it was expected that he was going to do that on a bachelor party, but oh my god, that was hilarious. The only few things that were really worth it, like the gambling was not worth it either because the gambling's so damn expensive now. Like, I'm already, like, I've grown to not be a big fan of gambling. I've talked about that before. Like, my parents like it every now and then, and I'll occasionally be willing to do it, but it's not really something I really enjoy. Because to me, it's just like you're just throwing away money. So we did a little bit of gambling out there, but all the tables out there are so freaking expensive at this point. Can't find $5 blackjack anymore. Like, all those tables were like $20 minimum per hand, which is just fucking ridiculous. If you play blackjack, you know exactly how ridiculous that is, because when I went to Vegas with my parents back in college, back in 2017, it was like $5 a hand for like every single table game, which is pretty reasonable. By that point, it was like $20, $25 a play, which is just fucking insane. New York, Nevada, California, Florida have gone to hell. Not necessarily Florida. I mean, Florida still has a lot of good to it compared to those other states. But it has gotten very expensive, that's for sure. Even if it's not quite as expensive as those are. Gamble with... Yeah, I agree with that. Like, gamble with stocks instead. Like I said, I don't really gamble, so... I barely gambled at all out there because, honestly, it was such a waste of money. Now, the one thing we did do out there, a few of the things we did do out there, like... explored the strip, walked around a lot, walked many miles a day, which was just good exercise and good, like, exploration. The best thing we probably did, or one of my favorite things we did, was when we went to the place where we got to shoot the guns, where you can just, like, rent guns off of, like, a menu, like it's a restaurant, and shoot them at an indoor range, staffed entirely by, like, ex-military. It's called Battlefield Vegas. That place was so much fun because I did that back in 2017 when I went with my parents, and it was an amazing time because they have so many historical guns you can shoot. And it's also funny because they have certain guns that you can shoot that, like, in any red state are completely legal, so there would be no reason to ever shoot them there if you're in a red state. Because, like, yeah, they had things like the Remington 870 and, like, Glock handguns and stuff, and it's like, if you're in any red state, you can go into any store and buy that within half an hour, you're out of there with a new gun. But then they have, we were there for the exotics, the machine guns, the ancient rifles, stuff like that. Because, like, I got to shoot a M1 Garand from World War II, a Thompson submachine gun, an ancient Chinese Mauser-style pistol. The old one that's from, like, Origins map of COD Zombies. Shot those 3 guns. I shot a Galil. Got to shoot a Galil. And there was, I think, one more that I shot. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I don't remember what the last one was. Yeah, M1 Garand, Tommy gun, that pistol, something else. And then I shot a shot out of the 50 caliber. 50 caliber sniper rifle was a lot of fun. 50 BMG, Barrett 50 cal. That was fun. And then, like, the time I shot there when I was with my parents all those years ago, I got to use an MP40, which is my, like, all-time favorite World War II gun, a PPSH, and yes, it shoots just as fast in real life as it does in video games, an MP5, an MG42, which does not function anything like it does in games. And I can promise you that every game that shows these soldiers carrying it around and just shooting it is not realistic. And then shot a shot out of the 50 cal. So that was probably the most fun thing that we did. Alongside just hanging out together and just catching up, drinking, having a fun time. Or in their cases, a couple of them were doing the marijuana, which I wasn't touching that at all in healthcare, and the other guy wasn't touching that at all being military, so. Florida's gotten bad. Miami's a shithole now. I don't know, like, everyone's moving to Florida and Texas. This lizard guy lives in Florida. He really likes it. I don't know if he's going to stay necessarily where he currently is in Florida, though. When he gets out. I can see him moving to a different part of Florida, maybe. It's a little bit nicer. Because he's in the Jacksonville area, which is not really one of the nicer parts of Florida. You know, we need people to stop moving from California and New York and Illinois. We need them to stop fucking moving down here. We're full down here. South Carolina especially, we're very much full at this point. We don't want any more of them here. The drivers are already bad enough here. We do not need any more of that. Which, at least we're not like Tennessee's idiot governor that told all the business owners to come to Tennessee. They do not want an influx of New Yorkers, or New Jerseyans, or Virginians, or Marylanders, or Illinoisians, Chicagoans specifically. And we don't want it here either. You know, my thing for Florida is it's even more hot and humid than it is here in South Carolina, like by far. And you got the risk of hurricanes down there, which honestly I feel like would be a nightmare to deal with like insurance and stuff, so not really ideal. I like where I am. Temperatures usually aren't insane outside of a few weeks during the summer. Very little snow, though we are fairly close to the mountains here, so it is still potentially there. Mixture of rural and suburban and urban. this door frame. Okay, that's another ding. Itch. Itch on my face. Alright, we're up to 77%, so I don't know what else there is here. Probably just the rooftop is probably a big part of it. Didn't really think about that. For a second I thought that was DeLorean from the other job in the first game. It kind of looked like it from like the half-second glance I first took. Yeah, I wonder what kind of DLCs we're going to get for this game. Like, I do wonder what they're going to end up doing. Like, do we do another SpongeBob DLC or another Shrek DLC, Back to the Future, stuff like that? Or are we going to do, like, other stuff, you know? A Jaws DLC, I don't know. A Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, that whole series, I could see them doing that. Call of Duty crossover, maybe, who knows. It wouldn't be out of the question, in all honesty. If they got paid enough to do it, they would probably do it. Because Powerwash is going to be better than Call of Duty this year, so at least I assume it will be. College football DLC, who knows? Like, clean a football stadium, clean a football, clean a uniform, clean a team bus, clean a team airplane, clean a team's NIL deals, I don't know. Stranger Things have happened. Oh, they could do a Stranger Things DLC, that's another possibility. Depends on what they can get the licenses for. Okay, so that ladder is still very dirty. And can you imagine if they did a Call of Duty DLC where it was like a straight up, like, just turn the game into a first-person shooter to play? That would be hilarious, but, like, at the same time, I'm sure everyone would get pissed off about it, but it would be kind of funny. So it turns into, like, a 4-player co-op shooter, or just a 1v1v1v1 multiplayer experience, where it's just like a water gun fight or something that we used to do as children. I used to do water gun fights sometimes, more so Nerf gun fights, but water gun fights were fun, too. Alrighty, we're at over 80% now, which is good. And a little trim right there, the last bit of the roof, perfect. Solar panel isn't clean yet somehow. Perfect. Let's get this AC unit covered up. It's covered in rust, so it's going to need some soaping. Excellent. That's much better. Get this underside. It's only at 81% though, so it's starting to slow down quite a bit. Oh yeah, this whole roof has a lot of stuff on it that we need to clean. Man, it's already almost midnight. Damn. 3.5 hours went by quick. Love Perrier. It is delicious. Just makes you burp sometimes. Carbonated. Okay, roof panel. I wonder if we can use a... Let me use the green nozzle up here. Yeah, it's definitely not as effective. What I may end up doing is jumping from this job so we can go start the movie theater job, and then finish this up to like 99% before the next stream. These last few areas are going to take a while. Even the green is taking forever on this one, so... And we're using the correct power nozzle, so... Powerwasher, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that may be what I end up doing. The movie theater job has another, like, clean this object first type of trophy to it, so do those on stream, do some of the excess cleaning off stream. Get it up to 85%, and I'm going to do that. Solar panels, lots of solar panels. Well, it is only a 6-room hotel, so you probably could power it with solar. Especially out in California if you're in a sunny area of the state. Come on, let's get that up to 85%. Then we're going to do a different job so we can get another trophy tonight. Ooh, and we're up to 85%. Perfect. Clean up these last couple of areas here. Everything we can clean up real quick, I'll get it. Alrighty. Let's go and save the game. And then, let's check out the theater. Oh, this is a shorter job. Okay. Let's just see what we have to do here. Clean the entire front row seating... Wait, what? Clean the entire front seating row? So what specifically does it mean with that? I assume it means the chairs, obviously, and the armrests, but does it mean anything else with this? Seems like it could be a problem one, unfortunately. Honestly, look at the state of the place. What was I thinking? That's a country song. What was I thinking? Go through it fast so it doesn't clean anything else by accident. Yeah, this one looks like it could be a bit more of a pain. Okay, you know what we should probably do? Nope, not that. Let's just mark everything front row. Just mark everything related to the front row here. Alright, start cleaning armrests, seat backs. Okay, yeah, this isn't a super long job, I can tell. You're back. Okay, sounds good. Well, you're back to see me trying to figure out how to clean a front row of the theater without cleaning anything else by accident. This is like that one where you had to clean the stuff for the toilets in the first game, but it wasn't super specific and it was known to be buggy for a lot of people. Because that trophy caused people problems in the first game. They eventually fixed it. This one is just really not specific. We have to clean the backs of seats too, which puts us at risk of cleaning other things. Front row seat, okay, that's fine. This definitely seems to be one of the trickier achievements in the game so far. Okay, it's cleaning up. That's looking better. Okay. And we have to clean these bases as well, so that's going to be another potential risk. Front row end leather. I think Lego Ninjago minifigures can do well for investments since a lot of people like yourself have nostalgia for the older shows and stuff. Well, the thing for me is, like, Ninjago was never anything I ever had any interest in, so, like, for me, the idea of buying Ninjago just doesn't make sense because I'd want to build it and play with it, or at least make it into, like, a diorama or something. But that's just me, and my lack of discipline at times. When I get a new Lego set, I don't have much discipline when it comes to that. Okay, so where are we at now on this? We have seats, ends, seating bases, and frames. Be very careful not to clean anything else. Okay, that's an end. Let's clean the bases, maybe? Okay, that was good. This is definitely one of the more annoying trophies we've had in this game so far, though. Another chair cleaned. Okay, that's the base. So what's left now? Just the one seat and one seating frame. seat. Okay, what is it referring to with the seating frame? Yeah, what counts as a seating frame? There we go, thank God. Okay, that was one of the trophies I was more worried about. Collecting what you couldn't get when you were younger, plus all the LEGO exclusive Ninjago is one of their longest running with most success. LEGO Chima died out. City's just generic. Friends is just regular stuff. Glad you collected a lot of them as a kid. Sounds like it for sure. It's like, I do like some of the city sets, and I do have a lot of city sets because I like the idea of having like a, what looks like a real, like, functioning city going on. See if green will work here. Okay, good. Green's working. That'll clean things faster. %. What's he sending us? Suppose I was thinking big. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? I guess if you're owning a business, maybe. I don't know, I've never owned a business of my own. Family Blockbuster of the Year, 4-quadrant audience, a director's dream. I don't know what any of that means. Not how it panned out. Yeah, clearly someone trashed your entire, like, movie theater. And that wall's close to being done. Poster's good. Lego City is good if you want quality stuff, but it's terrible for investments. Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair, but like, I like it for just the quality of building a city up. The city needs police officers, it needs medical and fire. It needs a military, it needs civilian employment, like shipping and stuff like that. Speaking of that, that's one of the sets I kind of want to pick up now, is the shipyard one more recently. I've got a handful of cops, medical, and fire, so they can cover the whole city, I hope. Potentially. Especially if they're in a war against a bunch of army men, a bunch of plastic army men. Because that is my life. I think night there were 7 people, one of them immediately fell asleep and the others laughed when they saw the dog car. I wouldn't laugh about seeing a dog car, most likely. They weren't supposed to. Okay, so this dude has a flopped theater, apparently, is what we're saying here. And yet he still wants me to clean it. Better be charging a premium for this. Lego Star Wars is copyrighted. Heard people say Lego Star Wars stuff is getting really oversaturated. I don't know. I still feel like Lego Star Wars stuff is going to sell very well forever. Just because of the name on it. Use your extra Lego City minifigures for spare parts. Fair enough. Alright, we're up to 25%. That's a good start here. 28%, so we're gaining progress pretty quickly. %. What's our next bit of lore? Second night we had even less, just 4 students from the film school who'd already seen everything else. Well, at least you had 4 people. They were in hysterics all the way through it, so was it supposed to be funny, I'm assuming? It was not supposed to be. Oh, they brought the scissor lift in here? What the heck? How does that fit in here? There's so many people that do that. True, with LEGO Star Wars. But even so, like, it's such a popular name brand, it's always gonna have that level of popularity to some degree. Oh great, Gnome Flight's still a thing, so they haven't fixed that yet. Alright guys, it is a little bit past midnight here, so Friday's not super busy for me, but I still gotta go to work, so I'm probably gonna call the night here. So here's what's gonna happen with this particular game. I'm gonna finish like 99% of both this job and the motel before the next stream of this game. And then for the next stream of the game, we'll finish those 2 jobs and then move on from there. So that probably makes the most sense for me to do. We'll speed things up for everyone. We're not missing any trophies doing it that way. So yeah, that's the current plan for this, but I don't know if this is what I'm streaming tomorrow. I might stream something else, like House of the Dead or something. We'll have to see. But most likely, I will see you guys back here tomorrow. So thank y'all for watching. See y'all back here tomorrow for, most likely tomorrow, for something being streamed. I don't know exactly what, but we'll be streaming something, most likely. So see you guys either tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday, depending on what schedule looks like. There's a possibility I might have a date or something, so we'll see. So see you guys back here real soon.